I asked about my sister's wedding date, only for her to tell me it happened last week. I only invited a few people who mattered. I asked my mom about it and she said the wedding was for just a few of us. The family decided that your presence was not needed. Everyone forgot I paid for the wedding. I calmly smiled and went away. The next morning, I woke up before my alarm, made coffee I did not taste, and wrote a list in block letters because lists are how I keep from spinning. Go to work. Do not argue. Check contracts before the money. Here is how we got here, in small scenes that add up. My name is Noah. I'm 33. Older brother, background guy, the person who shows up early, stacks chairs without being asked, and remembers where the extension cords live. I work operations for a warehouse off Interstate 84. Spreadsheets, delivery routes. Or did Pallet 48 go? Why does Scanner 7 only die after lunch? I live alone in a one-bedroom with thin walls and a balcony that fits exactly one chair and a basil plant that keeps threatening to give up. I keep a whiteboard by the door, bills due, shift swaps, grandma on Tuesdays. When things go wrong, people call me because I pick up, not because I am the fun one. In our family story, my sister Nena is the glow. Mom says she lights up a room. Dad says she has got that spark. Nena says I am the creative, and that line turns late rent into a plot point. She is 4 years younger, beautiful in every photo, very good at saying, I just need help for a week. When we were kids, I gave up the good chair for her piano practice because the acoustics are better in the corner. In high school, I took the bus so she could have the car for rehearsals. After college, I floated her small amounts that became medium once. It never felt dramatic. It felt like being a brother. I am good at routine. Saturday, laundry. Sunday, pasta. Tuesday, I called Grandma, where she asks the same 3 questions in different orders. Are you eating? Are you saving? Are you sleeping? I answer, yes, yes, and working on it. I like small fixed things, my chip blue mug, my same route through the produce aisle, my sneakers lined up by the door. I do not need a lot. I need people to say what they mean. When Nena got engaged, I hugged her for real. She and Mark had that we can finish each other's sentences energy that looks nice on Save the Dates. Mom bought a binder with tabs. Dad promised we will all pitch in. The binder lived on their kitchen counter like a second heart. I am good at pitching in. I said, tell me what you need. It was not a trap, it was a reflex. Months rolled. There was a group chat called Nena and Mark Wedding Brain, and I was not in it. Mom said, too many cooks, and forwarded me screenshots like I was allowed in the lobby, but not the room. Color palettes. A cake flavor debate, lemon elderflower. We are thinking September, maybe October, if the leaves behave. I kept paid time off flexible. When the venue wanted a hold, I put down the deposit so we do not lose the date. When the photographer asked for a retainer, I paid to lock in that style Nena loves. When the florist needed a design fee, I covered it because they only take Zelle, and your dad cannot figure it out. I do not like attention. I like confirmations. A Tuesday night in late fall, after a day of counting boxes that never matched the manifest, I texted Nina. I texted, hey, do we have the wedding date nailed down? Need to plan paid time off. Her dots popped up right away. Rare. Nina responded, oh, it happened last week. I stared. The words felt like magnets flipping the wrong way. I asked, what? Nena said, we kept it super small. I only invited a few people who mattered. The fridge hummed louder. I called Mom. She answered like she had been waiting. Noah, sweetie, the wedding was for just a few of us. The family decided that your presence was not needed. The family decided. My presence not needed. I watched the basil lean toward nothing and felt something tilt. Okay, I said. That is my sensible boy, Mom said, relieved. It was intimate, no fuss. You are not a crowd person. Everyone forgot I paid for the wedding. I did not demand photos. I did not ask about the cake. I ended the call, washed a mug that did not need washing, and looked at my face in the dark window. My mouth made a shape that looked like a smile and felt like a door closing. I calmly smiled and went away. When we were little, Nena got the front seat because she gets car sick. You are such a helper. At 11 years old, she ran through the back door and clipped the kitchen cabinet with her backpack, cracking the hinge. Mom kissed her head and handed me the screwdriver. You are better with this, she said. At 16 years old, Nena clipped the driveway curb and blew the tire. I took the blame because you are better with Dad when he is mad. At 19 years old, she needed a temporary place and used my old room. Turned my desk into a vanity because I need good light. Money was a stream. Senior year, my laptop died. I pulled diner tips for months and bought a refurbished one. When her phone cracked, Mom put a replacement on my card, because you will get the points. When she moved into her first apartment, I co-signed the lease. When she moved out, I paid $412 in repairs because the deposit did not cover it, and the manager is a jerk. Parking tickets doubled. Can you handle it? They will not boot my car if it gets paid today. $40 here, $95 there. It is just until Friday, a Friday that slid to Monday, and then to, I will make it up to you, promise. I told myself it was not a big deal. I told myself I was buying quiet. Then came engagement season. Mom is a project manager when a party is on the line. She printed spreadsheets with color codes. She drafted people like a coach. We all do what we can. Somehow, we always hung on my line. 2 months in, I had covered the venue hold for $1,500, the photographer retainer for $1,000, the floral design fee for $600, and the city park permit for photos for $120. Mom called each one temporary. Dad said, "We will square it later." Later is a word with stretch in our house. If I had been in the room, maybe I would have kept nodding, but they cut me out like a smudge on a picture. After I said, okay, to Mom, I opened my email, scrolled to the contracts, and read them like a person finally looking at the thing he has been bumping into. Venue deposit, non-refundable. Remaining balance due 7 days pre-event. Contract holder, me. Secondary contact, Mom. Photographer retainer, non-refundable. Balance due on gallery delivery. Billing contact, me. Florist design fee credited toward balance, remainder due on pickup date. Contact Mom, but card on file, mine. Planner for efficiency, we have your card for any incidentals day of. I closed the laptop and just sat there. The basil looked tired. So did I. I went to work because that is what I do. I counted boxes. I answered, did pallet 48 arrive? We are still short 3 boxes. I ate a banana in the break room and pretended it was fuel. At lunch, my phone buzzed. Mom texted, we are so grateful you handled the deposits. We kept things tiny, but there were a few upgrades. We will need to clear balances this week. Venue, flowers, bar, etc. You can put them on your card, and we will reimburse after the holidays. After the holidays, the phrase that means after you stop asking me. I was not invited. Mom texted, do not start. Nena texted, do not make this about you. Mark, my new brother-in-law, texted from an unknown number. Hey man, really appreciate all you did. We were going for a vibe. Hope you understand. Send me your Venmo for like drinks or something. Like drinks or something. A tip for my own exclusion. I laughed in the break room, and the guy from returns asked if I was okay. Family thing, I said, and he nodded like that is a full diagnosis. By 3 p.m., the planner emailed a friendly bomb. Subject: final payments for Nena and Mark. Bullet points in bold. Venue balance, $9,900. Florals balance, $2,150. Bar extension mid-reception add-on, $1,280. Photography balance, $2,300. As we have your card on file, we will process by 10 a.m. tomorrow, unless otherwise instructed. There it was, a clock. A card used like a family ATM. I went home, sat in the quiet you get when your brain is loud, and stared at the whiteboard. In the corner, in small letters, I had written condo fund, $47,800, with a date I hope to hit next spring. I pictured that number dropping for a party I did not attend. I felt something very small in me stand up. I checked my budget because that is my first language. Take home, $2,740 a month. Rent and utilities, $1,100. Groceries, $220. Insurance, phone, gas, $250. Savings, $900 to the fund. If nothing breaks, what is left covers coffee, socks when the heel rips, the random thing the car decides to do in February. There is not a line for someone else's $9,900 remaining balance. There is not a line where I write, wedding I was not allowed to see. I thought about all the little times, leaving work early to wait for a plumber at Nena's place because she could not get out of a shift. Missing a movie night because Mom needed me to pick up candles before the store closed. Dad handing me the ladder because you are tall. In our house, my traits are tools. If I do not hand them over, I am cold. I boiled pasta I did not want and ate 3 bites. I tried to read. The words skittered. I slept badly. I woke with a plan fully formed. Not revenge, not a scene, just accuracy. Put the money back in their hands. Put my name back in mine. I called out of work, the first time in months, and typed a script for myself because I ramble when I am nervous. Hi, please remove my card from the account. Redirect the invoice to the contracting parties. Any charge after timestamp is unauthorized. I practiced the tone in my kitchen, holding the phone to my ear, talking to nobody. I sounded calm. That felt new. I texted Mom, stopping by Sunday at noon. Mom replied, "Lovely bagels?" I answered, "Sure." I wrote Sunday folder on an index card and clipped it to my keys. I slept better. Sunday noon in my parents' house. Mom loves a sundae. She calls bagels a spread and arranges fruit like it has to pass inspection. I parked down the street to give myself 10 extra steps to breathe. When I walked in, the house smelled like a florist learned to cook. Leftover wedding bouquets and vases on every surface, a card on the mantel in glitter, to the bride and groom. A stack of favors, tiny jars of honey labeled Nena and Mark. Sweetest day. I stood there and felt nothing for the honey. Mom kissed the air near my cheek. "You look tired," she said, which is her version of, "Please be pliable." Dad said, "Help me move the table to the patio," without waiting for me to answer. Nena strolled in, wearing a sweatshirt that said, "Wifey." She glowed. She gave me a nod, the way you nod to someone you recognize from a waiting room. "Hey," she said. "Hey," I said. We sat. Bagels, cream cheese, locks fanned like someone measured it. Nobody said, "Sorry." Nobody said, "We should talk." Weather did a lap of the room first. I placed a slim folder on the table. My hands did not shake. "I brought something," I said. Mom's smile wobbled. "Oh, it is the balances for the wedding," I said. "The vendors have been using my card. That stops today. I have asked them to invoice you." Mom blinked like I turned the T5 off mid-sentence. "Do not be dramatic." Dad frowned. "We said we would reimburse you," he said, when I asked. Dad opened his mouth and shut it. Nena dropped her jaw. "We literally just got married. Can you not ruin the day?" "Your day was last week," I said. "Today is mine." Mom went sugar over steel. "We made it small because we did not want stress. You do not like crowds. We spared you." "It is personal," I said calmly. "Because you told me I did not matter enough to be there, and then you told vendors I mattered enough to fund it." She flinched. Dad studied his coffee like it could offer a script. I slid the folder across. "Venue balance due tomorrow. Florist by Wednesday. The bar extension was charged to my card without authorization. I have reversed it. I have frozen the card. If vendors need payment, give them your card." Nena's voice sharpened. "You are being petty." I shook my head. "No, this is not about revenge. This is about closure." The room paused. Even the refrigerator took a beat. Mom's eyes filled. Fury dressed as sadness. "After everything we have done for you," she said. I kept my voice even, like handing me tasks and calling it love. Dad slapped his palm on the table. "Watch your mouth. Watch your boundaries," I said. Nena laughed quick and mean. "You paid some deposits. Big whoop. Mark's cousin handled the DJ. People contribute. People contribute to events they are invited to," I said. Mom stood so fast her chair scraped. "If you walk out now, do not come back for Christmas." "I am not walking out," I said. "I am leaving." Nena threw one more pebble. "Fine, we will pay you later, like Dad said." She made air quotes, thinking the shape of her fingers would wound me. "Later is not a date," I said. "But okay." Mom followed me into the hallway. "Noah, be reasonable. You are making me the bad guy." "You made a choice," I said, hand on the doorknob. "I am making mine." She reached for my arm, then let it drop. "You are ungrateful. I am done being invisible." I stepped onto the porch. The day was cold and bright. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I let it ring. Dad called after me. "You will regret this." Like he was ordering from a menu. I sat in my car and let the heat run until I could feel my fingers. Then I drove home to the basil plant that might live or die but would be mine either way. Fallout was not an explosion. It was a lot of small sounds. 10:08 p.m. Planner. "Hi Noah. We saw your note. Can you please provide an alternate card? Reply, use the bride or her mother. Remove my card. 1:27 p.m. Venue. Remaining balance due tomorrow. Confirming payment method. Reply, not me. Contact Mom's email. Remove my card. 2:02 p.m. Florist. We have a card ending in 772, one on file. Keep? Reply, that is mine. Remove. Use Mom or Nena. 2:40 p.m. Bank alert. Attempted charge, $1,280. Premium bar extended. I called the bank. flagged it as unauthorized, requested a new card, hold music, a flute that sounded like a hallway. I stayed on the line. I answered 3 security questions and one that felt like a riddle. The representative said, "We will overnight the replacement." I said, "Thank you," and meant it like oxygen. 3:15 p.m., Mom called. Voicemail, "We are humiliated. You embarrassed us. The venue thinks we are deadbeats." 3:17 p.m., Dad called. "You are acting like a child." 3:20 to 2 p.m., Nena texted. "Mark says just pay it, and we will send you like $500 this week." My reply, "No." Nena texted, "You are enjoying this." My reply, "I am tired." It was 4 p.m. I wrote one email to all vendors copying Mom and Nena. Subject, billing contact change. Noah removed. Body, effective immediately. Remove my card and name from all accounts related to Nena and Mark's event. Send all invoices to Mom and Nena. Any charges made to my card after timestamp are unauthorized. Noah. Clicking send felt like setting a heavy box on the correct shelf. 5:20 p.m. My aunt texted a Bible verse about forgiveness. I replied, "Thanks, because I do not fight the extended family. I opt out." 7:05 p.m. My neighbor knocked. My package was at her door. "You okay?" she asked, seeing my face. "Family stuff?" I said. She nodded like, "That is a weather report." That night I made a new list. Freeze credit, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. Remove save payment from the family Amazon. Change bank passwords. Add alerts, $1. Set voicemail to text preferred. Schedule therapy intake. Buy a bigger pot for the basil. I did the first 4. I booked a Friday 8 a.m. therapy slot a friend recommended. I moved the basil to more light. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and slept like someone pulled a plug. Monday, the group chat woke up angry. So ungrateful. After everything Mom does. Money is not everything. You think you are better. I muted it. At 9:12 a.m. the venue emailed. "Per your instruction, we have updated billing. Congrats to the couple." I stared at the exclamation point like it had teeth and let it go. At lunch, Eli from work slid into the chair across from me. "You're quiet," he said. "Family stuff," I said. "Vague and ominous," he said, smiling. "Want to borrow my noise-canceling headphones for your brain?" I told him the clean version. He said, "I would love a family who calls me petty for not underwriting a party." I laughed once, loud, and felt something unclench. Tuesday, my boss pulled me aside. "You have been on it," she said. "I want you to lead the peak season schedule." It came with a raise, small but real. I swallowed a lump and said, "Thanks." I bought myself decent coffee beans on the way home and did not apologize to my budget. Wednesday evening, Mom showed up at my building without texting. She buzzed 9 times. The building turned into a sound. I watched through the glass. She held a bakery box like sugar could fix logistics. I did not buzz her in. She texted, "Open the door." I replied, "Please do not come unannounced." She stood until the box probably got cold. Then she left. Thursday morning, Dad sent a photo of my old baseball glove. Caption, "Do you want this or should I toss it?" The translation, "Come over and make peace." My reply, "Keep it." Dad texted back, "You are being dramatic." I let the phone face down without answering. Sometimes the adult thing is silence. Friday at 8 a.m., I sat on a couch that was not mine and told a therapist I had been paying admission to my own family. Saying it out loud made it real in a different way. She nodded. What would it sound like to stop paying? We made a list. It was not a magic spell. It was, do not loan money you cannot gift. Do not put your name on things you do not control. Do not attend events where you are a prop. Do not explain, and no more than once. After I walked 2 extra blocks to feel my feet, I bought the basil a bigger pot and dirt that promised well draining. Like that is a personality. I repotted it on the balcony and apologized to the plant for the whiplash. Over the weekend, Grandma called. I heard there was noise, she said carefully. I told her the truth without the mess. They had a wedding without me, I said. I removed my card. She exhaled like a kettle starting. I am sorry, sweetheart. Come by next week. I made stew. I wrote stew on Tuesday like it was a meeting. Sunday, Mom texted. Venue needs a card today. Then photographer will not release the gallery until paid. Then florist says the balance is past due. Proof the system works when I am not the system. I did not reply with tips. I did not jump in. A week later, a transfer hit my account from Mom, $250 with the note, start of the payback. I did not type thank you. I moved it to savings and labeled it door fund, because in my head the condo has a door that does not stick, and I get to paint it blue if I want. No big apology came, no porch speech, just fewer pings, more quiet. It felt weirder than normal. 3 weeks in, Nina texted at 10:03 a.m. I hate how this went. You did not deserve the text I sent. I was being mean. I typed and deleted 5 times. I finally sent, I am not going to be anyone's wallet anymore. She wrote back, okay, not a reconciliation, not a war, a pause. Work got busy in a way I like. Clear problems, clear fixes. I rewired the pick paths, shaved 6 minutes off a route, watched chaos settle into lines. My boss emailed, nice work. I printed it and stuck it by the whiteboard, because sometimes you need proof that effort matters somewhere. On a Sunday, my neighbor with the package invited me to a potluck. Friendsgiving round 2, she said. Bring whatever. I brought rolls, duct tape, and the screwdriver I keep in my glove box. Their folding table needed a brace. I made one out of a paint stirrer and a prayer. We went around and said one thing we were grateful for. When it was my turn, I said boundaries. And it sounded like a joke until it did not. Nobody asked me to explain. On Tuesday, I took Grandma's stew and fixed her cabinet hinge for the 3rd time. It keeps loosening, she said. Things do, I said. She patted my hand. Tighten them again, she said. We watched a game show and made fun of the commercial where a guy proposes with a burger. When I left, she handed me a bag with Tupperware and said, do not forget your containers. Like, that is our love language. A month out, Mom sent $200 worth for the florist and a separate text. We miss you. I stared at the sentence. It looked like a picture of food, pretty, not filling. I replied, thank you for the transfer. She sent a photo of Nena and Mark cutting a second cake with friends. I put my phone face down and watered the basil. On a Thursday, I said, no, to a request without sweating. Nena asked, can you wash the dog this weekend? My reply, no, I have plans. My plans were laundry and quiet, but they counted. She sent a thumbs up. The world did not crack. I made pancakes on Sunday, just because I wanted to use the syrup that has been in my cabinet since 2022. I burned the first one and ate anyway. 4 weeks later, I opened my credit report and checked for inquiries. Clean. I exhaled a breath I did not know I had been holding. I put a reminder for 6 months from now to check again. I wrote Basil likes mornings on a post-it and stuck it to the balcony door, like I was trying to convince myself and the plant. There was no grand reckoning, just a quieter phone and a stronger spine. It was enough. I kept waiting for thunder. Closure showed up like a click. Here is what it looks like up close. I say no, faster and softer. No, I will not co-sign. No, I cannot put that on my card. No, Sunday is not good for moving tables. I do not attach a paragraph of apology. I do not turn my communication into a debate I can lose. Mom texts coupons. I say, thanks, or nothing. Dad sends dog videos where a golden retrieves groceries. I send a laughing face because the dog looks like it pays its own bills. Nena sends a meme every other week. We are not fixed. We are functional at a low volume. I answer Grandma every Tuesday and tell her about the basil. She says every time, maybe it wants a friend. Like I should buy a second plant, so the first one has someone to talk to. I taped an index card inside my mug cupboard. It says, I will not fund a seed I am not offered. I will not let family be a password to my wallet. I will not explain a boundary more than once. I will build the life I pay for. It is not poetry. It is a checklist I see when the kettle starts to sing. I still show up early and stack chairs when I am invited. I still fix hinges when someone says please and means it. I still leave before the photos sometimes because I like my bed and quiet more than small talk. The difference is I do those things by choice, not because someone wrote my name next to a task and called it love. I do not know if Nena will ever say, I am sorry we cut you out. I do not need it to keep moving. The apology I needed was the one I finally aimed at myself. You were not cruel for saying no, you were careful. The story I tell myself changed. Not a plot twist, a new sentence. This is not revenge, it is closure. It is the lock turning on my side of the door. It is a basil plant that might live, might not, but belongs to me either way. It is a blue door in a place I do not own yet, but I am walking toward one quiet no at a time. My name is Noah. I am 33, older brother, background guy, not a wallet, not a villain. Just a person who learned that no is a complete sentence, and later is not a date. And the next morning I chose me, and kept choosing me, until it was not a moment anymore. It was a life. Looking back, I feel a strange calm settle over everything, like dust after a storm that no one else noticed. For years, I was the one who arrived first and left last. The one who fixed things quietly, paid without tallying, and absorbed the small inconveniences so everyone else could shine. I thought that was what family required. A steady hand always ready, a card always open, a presence that didn't demand space. I told myself it was love, the kind that doesn't keep score. But love shouldn't feel like erasure. It shouldn't mean funding a day you're told you don't belong to, smiling while your absence is explained away as kindness. We spared you the crowd, the sting of being left out of the wedding photos, the cake, the laughter I helped buy. It's still there, sharp and private. What hurts more is realizing how easily they assumed I'd keep giving, even after deciding I didn't matter enough to invite. Freezing the card, redirecting the invoices, removing my name from every contract. It wasn't anger in the loud sense. It was the quietest act of self-preservation I've ever managed. For the first time, I put the boundary where it should have always been, between what is mine and what is not. I don't feel victorious. I don't feel bitter. I feel untangled. The relief is almost embarrassing in its size, like stepping out of shoes that were 2 sizes too small and realizing I'd forgotten how walking is supposed to feel. Some nights I still glance at the phone, waiting for the apology that may never come. Most nights I don't bother. The basil on the balcony is greener now, stretching toward light I finally make sure it gets. The savings line climbs again, deliberate and slow. My weekends have blank spaces that belong only to me. I say no quicker now, softer, without the old reflex to explain or soften the edges. No paragraphs of justification, no promises of later. Just no, and then silence that doesn't beg to be filled. The house is quieter. The group chat is muted. Transfers arrive in small, reluctant pieces, always with notes that stop short of sorry. I accept the money, move it to the fund for a door I'll paint whatever color I choose, and keep walking. There was no dramatic reconciliation, no tearful porch scene. Just distance that grew naturally once I stopped bridging it alone. And in that space, something new took root. A life measured by what I choose to give, not what is taken for granted. Peace didn't arrive with thunder. It arrived like morning light on a small balcony, ordinary, gradual, undeniably mine. I chose myself that day. I keep choosing myself. And that quiet, repeated choice has become the most honest sentence I've ever lived.